All right, can you hear me? Let me get a thumbs up if you can hear me. All right, so here is my little setup. I forgot we're on about a 30-second delay. So I captured this particular satellite imagery and I put that in as a video, and then this other one down here as an image. As you can see, it says tropical storm Dorian. At the time that I put that image in there, I mean, this is how fast these systems can change. It was a tropical storm. It is now a hurricane, Category 1. Soon to be a Category 2. So, let's dig into it. There's no defined eye wall at this point. Take a dump, I don't care. Shit yourself. No, I'm just kidding. So let's get into it. Let me go over here. There's my face. All right. Let me pull this up to catch on the comments. Hang on a minute. Oh, these people kill me. Let's see. All right, cool. All right, I got the comments there. So what we have here is, and this is pretty amazing actually, but what we have here is radar. What's up, Alex? Did you watch your porn clip? So what we have here is radar, wind, and clouds, and moisture, and pretty much everything at this point. This storm right now, let me back up a little bit here. This storm right now is trying to form an eye wall, right there. And what we have here is we actually now can do webcam footage. I don't know if you can see that, but let's open this up here. Well, I guess that's as big as it gets. All right. So right now the part of the storm is over St. Thomas right now, and as you can see, this is video that it captured and things like that. So it's kind of neat to actually have that, so that when it makes landfall anywhere really, we can actually see images of the storm from thousands of miles away. So what we have right now is here on the right side, I'm adjusting the surface. So I'm getting more altitude, if you will. So as you can see, it's changing color. All right, that's pretty cool, right? So the higher we go, the more definition we get. And right there is where the eye is going to form, I guarantee it. So what I want to do is click on wind, and then just start clicking here. So as you can see, it's like 38 miles an hour. Where are we at here? We're at 3,000 meters or 10,000 feet. So let's bring that down a little bit. So this particular spot, a tsunami in the toilet. Gross! This particular spot, okay, so actually while we're here, let me go over here real quick, and we need to make Tita a moderator. It does it all. I'm interested in a lot of stuff. Okay, I don't know why I can't. Can I do? No. Okay. Well, I guess we'll figure that out later, right? All right, well, we'll worry about that later. Well, Walmart right now, Roy, is completely out of water. So let me get to that here real quick. So what we want to do is we want to zoom in a little bit because as you can see, the darker the color gets, the higher the winds. And so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to back this up. My internet will cooperate here. Jeez. Center this. Go back in. I didn't realize I went out that far. But okay. Cool. So there's Florida. There's the storm. Let's move this to 8 a.m., 9 a.m. Thursday. Are we not getting enough? Yeah, that's in miles per hour. Okay. So there's Thursday. We'll do 7 a.m. Friday. Now over here we have the European model, the GFS, and the other one. So the biggest thing that we have to be concerned with hurricanes is water damage, and I mean wind is good, a good indicator as well, but water damage. Saturday at 7 a.m. You see how big? So let's go back to 7 a.m. Friday. Look at the size. Nice little round there. We'll call it a cluster. A nice little round cluster there. But if we're going to go back to 7 a.m. on Saturday, look at how much bigger that's gotten. And this is the whole storm right here. So we can, like I said, there we go, 75 mile an hour. And as you can see, the wind is different in different parts of the storm, right? 47 miles an hour, 42. But this is all over warm water. It really is. So it's going to get stronger. And then we have Sunday, 7 a.m. Bam. Let's zoom in. Look at how much area this is going to take up. From Cocoa Beach to pretty much Miami. That's a lot of space. That's a lot of space. And then we have these different various colors of indicating wind and rain and thunder and things like that. So right here, as you can see, I don't know if you guys can see this. Let me try to make it a little bit bigger. There we go. That might help you a little bit. Well, see, now I think I've just screwed everything up. So let's go back out. See, there's a spot right there for 22 miles an hour. So hurricanes are very unpredictable. Oh, that's why okay, we go back here. There we go. Let's see, what do we got here? Can you go out into the ocean and get an accurate water temperature? Yeah, I guess you could. Man, go get some 5-gallon jugs and fill up with water so have some don't need to buy Walmart water. No, I mean, I've got water already. So part of my plan was every time I went to the grocery store, I picked up a gallon of water or, a case or whatever I could afford at the time. Okay? So it's all in there. And then obviously we'll fill up the tub for toilet. We'll fill up the tub for like washing whatever. I mean, I don't expect this to be horrible, but as you can see here, Sunday 7 a.m., parts of this are already 95 miles an hour. And all you have to do is just keep ticking to look for your higher wind speeds. Now, typically with a hurricane, as you can see, this is in a counterclockwise motion. Your wind power is going to be stronger at the 9 o'clock hour versus the 3 o'clock hour versus the 9 o'clock hour. Look at this, 95 miles an hour here, and on the other side, 54. right? But we can also do rain and thunder. The colors means how intense it is, Tita. So down here, like see at the very bottom by my clock, it's got 0.24, 0.39, 0.78. So the pinker, the redder it goes, the more rain. A Sharknado. The rain. So I mean, we have this menu here on the right side too. So let's do radar and satellite. Let's do satellite, if it will let me do it. Oh, it's not available because it's today, but let's see if we can do this. The storm's way down here too, so it's not really, yeah, it's not doing much. Let's go back to see. Okay, this is good right here. Thank you, Aaron. Thank you. I haven't done a lot. I haven't done a lot with this page because I hope it doesn't mess you up where I don't have water. I don't think we'll have a utility outage, honestly. I haven't done a lot with this page because obviously it takes a little bit of funds to get there and, you know, buy some good cameras and stuff. I don't really want to do it with a phone because it's just not good as far as that goes. But, you know, I can try to do a little bit more for this page. And we haven't had a lot of storms to really chase, anything worth chasing. All right, so let's try to find in this satellite imagery here. Clearance down. Okay, the storm's right here. Now, as you can see, let me back this up just a little bit. Just a little bit. And we'll let it refresh because you got to do that, right? All right. Let's let it reload here. Okay, so there's the storm, right? And what we have here, we have a low pressure system coming in. So depending upon what this does, this particular part right here, right under the windy, if this pushes further down southwest, if it pushes like that, it's going to force this storm to go right across the state of Florida, boom, and hit Tampa. If this lets up, it could go right up the coast and hit the Carolinas or Georgia. You know what I mean? Either way, I can tell you this much. Either way, she's coming. She's coming. All right, so let's go to wind, and then we'll do wind gusts. Wind gusts are very, very important. Yes, it's over the Virgin Islands. As soon as it went over St. Thomas, it became a Category 1 hurricane. So now, Tita, as you can see, we've got a lot of peach, yellow, white. So we're looking at some very serious wind here. As you can see, it's 110 miles an hour at Sunday, 7 a.m. These are the gusts. All right? And we go over here and put it to a little bit more of the purple. It's 91. 79, 69. So you got all these different speeds. Whip it around, and that's where you get your damage, and that's where you get your waves and things like that. No, it's a hurricane as far as I know. It's a hurricane. We're going to check on that in just a second. So let's look at waves. There's a swell. So let's point our little marker right here. Sunday, 7 a.m. when it comes into the Florida area, we're going to be looking at about 12 feet of waves, of swell, if you will. So let's pump this up to 10 o'clock. We're going to go to 1. And so the swell's kind of going down, but this is also, like I said before, a different model. This is a European model. So 1 o'clock, let's go back here to, we'll go back to 4 a.m. because that's a good place to start. So we're going to back this up so we can all see, okay? You can see the whole state. And I've got the European model started here. So I can actually just hit play right here and we can watch what it's going to do. Isn't that neat? Let me back this up again because I want to pause it one more time. Okay, so here it comes off the ocean. You see this part right up here, this pink? Watch this part right here, how it gets bigger and smaller. There could be some wind shear out there to disrupt it as well. So let's just keep watching. See how much bigger it's get? And then right there, it starts getting a little bit disorganized because it's going over the land. Hey, App Olympian, how are you? It's getting a little bit bigger or a little bit more disrupted because it's going over land. But watch what happens when it gets over the center of Orlando. It starts getting more defined, more structured. And that's because Orlando is nothing but a damn hot box. It's nothing but swamp. And even though it's not the ocean, it's still a lot of warm water and a lot of humidity. And that's why Orlando, when a hurricane does come in, tends to cause a lot more damage than, say, on the Gulf Coast. Now let's keep watching. We're going to pause Monday at 1 a.m. It's going to start coming over the... No, I'm not coming to Miami because you guys are probably going to get quite a bit of this no matter which model we're looking at. And yes, it would be this weekend if it does come this way. Right now we're looking at Monday, 1 a.m. All right? And there it goes. Now look. We're talking 6 a.m. and it's over the Gulf. Now let me back this up again. I want to play this frame by frame. So we are now at Sunday, 9 p.m. Oh, Dorian, yeah, I'm sure you'll get some of it. We're going to back it up, though. I'm going to replay it because you just came in, so I don't want you missing nothing. So Sunday, 9 p.m. There's 10, 12, 2, 4. See how much bigger it got? Because as soon as it gets over the Gulf, it starts getting more strength. Now we're going to slide this over a little bit to see what potentially could happen. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 1 p.m., 4 p.m., 7 p.m. Let's pause this. 11 p.m. Now it's pretty much over the Gulf, right? Look how much bigger this sucker got. And it's heading right for Panama City. Again, this is the European model, so we definitely want to make sure. And this is surface. We've got this on surface, so this is what you're going to feel. Can enlarge that over where we are. Yeah, again, we're gonna replay it. I'm gonna go back, but right now we're just doing the trajectory. So right now this is the surface. So this is what you're gonna feel standing on the ground. Okay, so we want to. And hurricanes are a funny thing because the wind speed on the ground is a lot different than it is 500 feet, 1,000 feet, 6,000 feet, whatever, up in the air. And so that's where a lot of your destruction comes into play, is because there's different wind speeds at different levels, all doing all kinds of things to water and buildings and everything else. This is Monday at 11 p.m. All right. So now we want to go ahead and get our wind. And we'll just start checking it out. 72 miles an hour. Now let's back this up to where it's, what I say. Okay, here we go. Just see, there, it's not as stable. It's not as formed. But Christine lives in Clearwater. But see, look at this right here. It's 11 miles an hour. 11, 7. So this whole bay area between Tampa and Apollo Beach and Sarasota, not a lot. But over here, look at this, 43, 37, 51 in Clearwater, 51 mile an hour. It could also be like it did with Irma and all the water gets sucked out of Tampa Bay because it is doing just that. I mean, it's counterclockwise, so it could do that as well. But let's go ahead and get a couple more frames. There's 8 a.m. So, there we go. This is right here is going to be your eye in the center of the storm right here. Now watch as we progress a little bit further. 12. Zoom it out. There we go. And let's go ahead and adjust the surface to 2,000 feet. 2,000 feet, we got wind speeds of 86 miles an hour at 2,000 feet. And we over here, 101 miles an hour. That is a category 2. If my memory serves me correctly, 74 to 95, I believe, is a category 1. So we're looking at Monday, 2 p.m., category 2. Back this up a little bit to Monday, 5 a.m. The land is really disrupting it. Where is Dorian at the moment? Just over St. Thomas is really disrupting it. But we also have, I mean, there's a lot of disruption here. But like I said, once it gets into the Gulf, right there, you see that really pink whitish right there. It's coming back. And now we're getting into the category 2 strength, while half of it's still over Tampa Bay. So here we go. Let me zoom out a little bit. Place my marker into a different spot. There's still 100 miles an hour Monday, 8 p.m. This is going to be a doozy. Let's see here. 2 a.m., 6 a.m., 9 a.m. So what I want to do now, just so we can see a complete path, because it looks like it's actually going to make a U-turn on the European models. But what I want to do now is we're going to back it up and we're going to play it in this zoom level. We're going to play it to see all the way through how it's going to happen, right? And what you want to do is look right down here. If you can see this, it says Tuesday, 10 a.m. right here. So you're going to watch this slider bar, okay? And you're going to see what it's going to do. Again, this is a European model. Then what we're going to do is go ahead and we're going to play the GFS model. So we're going to back it up to Thursday, which is tomorrow. So actually we'll just do it from today. All right? So here we go. Ready? You don't see much right now, okay, because it's still out in the water. But here she comes, right there, right there. You have to forgive me. My computer's a little slow. You see the developing storms here, though, right? Before it even gets here. Here it comes, right there. And this is the pin marker I've got for the waves. I said I want to do a complete playthrough just so we can see, you know, what's going on. Then we'll get a little bit dirtier in the details later. Okay, but watch how it's breaking up. But see, Florida's not that big. It doesn't have enough land to break it up. It can slow it down a little bit, but see? We're now at Monday, 9 a.m. We're at Tuesday, 9 a.m. Tuesday, 5 p.m. See? And this is going to go all the way through Friday. We're currently Wednesday, 10 p.m. It's still, at this point, Thursday, 3 p.m., a very developed storm. Look at all this. I think that's where we get it there. We can't go any further. But it's still an extremely developed storm. Even after all that land that it did. So where are we at now? 94 miles an hour. All that land. I mean, that's crazy. All this land right here. All right, so we're going to switch it up one more time. Go to GFS. Back it up. Boom. And let my computer catch up. Okay, there it is right there. That's tropical depression air, and that's nothing to worry about. So here, and there's another one coming off the coast of Africa right there. I guarantee you that's going to be a problem right there. So here's the storm where my hand is. Are you, Tito? That's good. I'm glad. So the GFS model is predicting it's going to do this. So you see, I'm following the hand. It's still showing the same imagery. It's still, you know, getting very strong. But, and my computer's a little sluggish, so you have to forgive me. But it's kind of good that it's doing that step-by-step kind of thing. Remember, the European model had it going across the state. Now watch this. And it all has to do with this blue stuff right here in the center. See, here it comes. And so what you don't want, what you do not want is a hurricane kind of sitting idle like it's doing right now in the middle of the ocean, because that's where it really gets to get strength, you know, and really start screwing stuff up. You can see, I mean, Tampa's right there. It's starting to come over a little bit, but what it's also saying, see, it's trying to say it's going to go into Jacksonville or parts of Georgia. See, there it goes. And it's going to do kind of a hook turn. We're still about 5 days out, though, so we don't really know. And see, it's going like over Atlanta and into Alabama. And it's all because of this blue area right here in the section. So it's predicting that it will do one of two things. Now let's look at this model. I'm not sure what model this is, but let's back this up. And this is why hurricanes are so hard to predict, because we don't know what these, once this thing figures out what it's doing, we don't know what these jet streams and these circulations and things like that are going to be doing. We have no idea, right? So let's go ahead and play this. We're backing it up again from like today, right? So there's the storm, and there's more jet stream and more pressure systems and things like that up here. And this tropical depression right here has a lot to do with how things are going to work. But you see, everything's kind of circularly moving right here, right? And so we got all, and these little heavy blue marks and things like that, those are pressure systems. You know what I mean? So watch this. Here we go. It's 3 different models we've seen. I trust the European model more than anything. It has historically been the most accurate, okay? But you can see that the similarity with these models is the storm is getting bigger, the storm is getting more defined, it's getting stronger. As you can see, all this purple and blue and all this stuff right here, it's all the same, okay? The imagery is pretty much the same. Now this particular model's showing it to get quite a bit larger, all right? So here we go. What's it going to do here? I have not actually seen this. Kind of similar to the GFS. Right, you're right. Now let's see what's going to happen when it starts getting over land. Looks like it's kind of predicting what GFS is going to do. If the European model is right, which historically has definitely been righter than any of the others, we're screwed. We're screwed. All right, let's put it back to European model. let's go over here and watch some of, okay, so there's Dorian right there, and here is another one. Friday, 4 a.m. All right? Bam, 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 right there. Friday, 4 a.m. There's a nice circular development there. A lot of wind, a lot of strength, right here. Let's check out some of this wind speed. 94 mile an hour. Hang on, I'm going to get a soda. Like I need soda. You're cute. Yes, you are. You're cute. We'll go out in a minute, buddy. All right, so what do you think? What do you think so far? This is Friday at 6 or at 4 a.m. We're in the season, guys. We are in the season to potentially have multiple hurricanes. And I'm not trying to be funny, but you can blame Africa, because here's why. Africa more. Yeah, you had it bad. You got a generator? Smart. No, we're going to go out in a minute. It's too bad. You can wait. You don't do nothing but bark anyway. I'm talking to Eddie. Okay, so here's the thing. We have the Sahara Desert in Africa, and any desert, because I lived in Arizona 5 years, any desert is going to have what's called monsoon season. It's where you got a lot of moisture, a lot of pressure, a lot of energy, and it just freaking storms. Well, major thunderstorms, right? What happens to major thunderstorms when it gets over the water, the warm waters? For most of this year, guys, most of this year, the sea temperatures over here have been very, very cool. Now we've just switched this to the temperature, okay? Here's parts of the Sahara and all that, 96. Look at this. And that's at 2,000 feet. Let's bring this down to the surface. What are you going to feel at the surface, right? Yeah, it's a very difficult time, especially in Florida. If you're an Uber or rideshare, any kind of driver like that, yeah, you're going to be kind of broke. So look at all this hot trough right here, right? So, and there's this the spinner, if you will. That's what I call it, the spinner, right? That's where that other one, Friday at 4 a.m., I think is going to be a problem. And unfortunately, I'm not able to forecast what's going to happen next. But the sea temperatures have been very, very cool here off the coast of Africa. Not quite warm enough to really cause a problem. But unfortunately, we are now definitely getting into prime hurricane season. Look at parts of Texas here. And, you know, 4 a.m., 73 degrees. You know, the weather's so whacked right now. It really is. All right, let's get back to it. Let's get to the rain. I'll click on thunderstorms. All right, so this is Friday, 4 a.m., September 6th. The European model, there's parts of Dorian right there. Right? So let's go back to wind. Wind is my favorite one. I like that one because it's so colorful. But we have a cool pressure system here keeping a lot of stuff from forming in the Gulf. But unfortunately, when you have a bunch of activity, if you will, you end up having a lot of issues, right? So, like I said, this one here, we're supposed to have 2 to 3 major hurricanes this year. We have not had any. This one will be number 1. So what's going on with this one over here? Is this going to be another one that's going to take it, to Florida? Because they usually, the bad ones, the real bad ones like Irma, Maria, they all start right over here. When they start, like Dorian did over here, in the Caribbean Sea, doesn't have a lot of time to cross the Atlantic and build up a whole lot of strength, right? So y'all want to go to Bermuda real quick? Look at this. This is so cool. So that's Bermuda. Tuesday, yesterday. Yeah, no power for 6 days. Tita, there are people in Puerto Rico right now that are still without power over Irma and Maria 2 years ago. This webcam feature is really awesome because it was not there before. You can go all over the world just looking. We were without power for 29 hours. We were really lucky. Here's Caracas. All right, so back to business. So not only are we going to have to deal with this Dorian stuff, and it does affect a lot of people. It affects me. It affects Uber drivers, Uber Eats, grocery delivery, all that stuff. So like with Amazon, if there's a major hurricane coming through, let's back this up to Sunday again. Zoom in. Go here. Come on, catch up. What I'm going to do is put a wind pin and show you where the warehouses are approximately. And you can see, we'll start with St. Pete. You can see how potentially long I could be without work, okay? I gotta zoom in a little bit more. And Uber will tell you, I'm sorry, we're closed. It's not happening. I gotta zoom in a little bit more. There's 88. Okay, cool, perfect. All right. Now we'll zoom out so it doesn't have to work as hard. This memory is cracked. Right? Or deactivate your ass because you refuse to drive through a puddle, right? So that's approximately about where the St. Pete warehouse is, and you can see how much time it could take to get through there and get some work again. This is Wednesday at 8 a.m. So, I mean, Monday to Wednesday, really? I mean, same with Uber. I mean, when you pull up your app, it's going to say we're not taking any orders or we're closed. I mean, I'm paraphrasing here. And with Irma, I think Uber was down for, I don't know, 3 or 4 days. And for somebody who lives paycheck to paycheck, that could be detrimental. It really could. So while I enjoy the storms, I'm okay with about a day. Then, we got to get back to normal. And people were going nutso with Irma because after it passed, everybody got in their car, was driving around looking for restaurants that were open. What? No, don't do that. You need to make sure that you're going out now, today, if you're affected by these areas, whether or not we're going to have any kind of storm. You need to go out today and do whatever you can to get batteries, canned goods, whatever. I always buy a can of vegetables or, something that will last for years and just keep it there. Pasta you can boil on the grill in a pan and have at least, something meaty to eat, right? Okay, that's cool. They'll work with anybody affected by this. And a lot of banks will do that too. I remember with Irma, Chase said, you got a week. Overdraw as much as you want because we're not going to charge you anything. And I took advantage of it. I sure did. Well, I need some gas today. Go ahead and, Beef stew is another one. Yep, you can put the can right on the grill. Just take the label off. All right, guys. So, there's a there's a lot of let's see. What do we got here? What is this? Who is this? That looks like Indian Rocks, maybe? These webcams are freaking cool. I like that. I really do. And they're just images right there so that, you can kind of get an idea of what's going on. And even though you're watching this webcam right now, it's not really showing some of the wind direction and things like that. So, I mean, they can be misleading. Also, I'm going to tell you this. If we, I've got charcoal, actually. I mean, that's what we have, but I need to buy some of that too, charcoal. I mean, I got enough wood back there. I could start a fire, I guess. I don't know. Gas for the car, correct. I'm getting some ideas if there was a storm here. Good, good. I'm glad I could at least help. And guys, those of you that are in New England, like where Tita lives, don't think that just because this storm here is coming to Florida that you won't be affected some kind of way. You could be getting a lot of rain, a lot of flooding. I mean, Hurricane Sandy was no joke, okay? And it struck New York. So, just because you live up there doesn't mean you're not going to get nothing, all right? So let me catch up on the chat here and see what we got. Because all of you are my favorite, loving, supporting subscribers. App Olympian got a generator after Irma. I know that's right. If you guys can, I mean, I'm not going to be able to do that, but if you guys can, get you a generator now, because tomorrow and the next day, the prices are going to go up. Honestly, they are. They're going to go up. And I don't know what else we can do, right? But, Aaron, where are you? Aren't you in California? I thought you were. All right, so what do we want to see, other than Christine? Are there any other Florida people here? App Olympian? Oh, he did ask, and I did promise. So we're going to go back and see how much we're going to get. Oh, Maryland, my bad. Oh, I'm thinking of, who is it? I'm thinking of somebody else. All right, let's go back to Miami. Y'all want to go to Miami? There's Miami. Isn't that cool? Okay, let's play it. We have a surge protector on our meter outside, so we're good. But also, if a hurricane is coming your way, you're going to do the entire world a favor if you turn your AC off. I suspect that that's why we probably had power through Irma, because everybody turned their AC off. You don't want to put a load on the grid, right? Because ACs take a lot of power. Will Tripe still be working? I don't know. I'm going to probably say they might try. Okay, we don't need to do previous here. Let's try to get to where the storm, okay, there she is. All right, App Olympian, if you're still here, are you still here? Because I would like to show your city. And one thing I do, guys, when I do these lives about weather, I do like to show, I genuinely care about my subscribers, and I generally care about people and where they live and things like that. So if you're concerned about your city, I am most happy to show you what might happen in your city. And for everyone else, you know, that's sitting around going, God, I wish you would go to mine or whatever, just put your city in here. We're going to find out what's going on. Okay? So right now, App Olympian, we are at Saturday, 10 p.m. Okay? There's the storm right there over the northern Bahamas. I'm going to do this manually. So there's Saturday at 6 a.m. And again, we're going to do a couple of the different models, right? So let's go ahead and zoom in. Your wind doesn't look too bad, but let's check your rain because honestly, if we're doing this particular model, I don't think you're going to get much of it. But let's go ahead and just put this on the rain. 2 p.m., half an inch. But you can see like Port St. Lucie, Palm Beach. Yeah, it's another story. It really is. Honestly, I don't think you're going to get a whole lot of anything. But let's go back here. There's the storm right there. Now we're on the thunderstorm imagery here. And see, I like this. I love this windy.com because it shows you various things. Like right now we're looking at the thunderstorm imagery, and that could be different than from, say, the satellite or the clouds or whatever. See, there's the storm there, but you can see that we're Saturday 11 p.m. the storms are extending. So are you going to get, you know, thunderstorms? Oh, I think we went too far. There's 4 a.m. and there's Miami. Let's put this right on Miami. There we go. I'm not sure where in Miami you live, but there's 6 a.m. Sunday, 9 a.m. Sunday. So you are actually probably going to be okay. Now, the one coming next Friday, it's not on the app yet. It's not on the app, but I'm telling you, that's going to be probably going to be another major one. It's already 94 mile an hour off the coast of Africa. We're probably going to get that one. You might have to worry about, App Olympian. But this one, okay. Now we're going to go to GFS because we want to check all the models. If it will let me. Well, let's go back to wind. There we go. You'll have to excuse my computer because it is a little slow. But I'm poor. Okay, 6, 4. There's Saturday, 4 p.m. Let's go back to rain. All right, so with the GFS model, oh, that's why. Okay, let's go back here then. With the GFS model, it's saying that you could potentially have a little bit more rain and a little bit more wind, but still, it looks like you're going to be okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't think you're going to get a whole lot of anything. You may see some rain, you may see some wind, things like that, but I think you're going to be okay. Who else? Anyone else in Florida? Now keep in mind, we are still keeping this on surface. We're not checking the upper atmosphere and things like that, okay? Because we want to know kind of what it's going to be like on the ground, because honestly that's the only thing we're really going to feel. Waves, we didn't check that. Still okay. 2 feet waves in Miami. How's Key West? Okay, well let's look at Key West. Because honestly, Key West could definitely be seriously affected by waves and swelling because, as you can see, the rotation here. So let's back it up to 3 a.m. Sunday. Let it catch up. And let's put our pin right there. 2 foot on 9 a.m. Sunday, 2 foot 4 p.m. Sunday, 2 foot 10 p.m. Sunday, 7 a.m. 3 foot, 4 p.m. Monday. Yeah, so this should be okay. Oh, you gotta go? Okay. Okay, cool. So we should be okay there with the waves and stuff in Key West. It doesn't look like there's gonna be a whole lot of rain or anything like that. Yeah, they are at sea level, and when Irma hit Key West, it destroyed it. It destroyed it. Um, Man, my biggest thing right now. Let me zoom out because I'm really interested in this other one. This is Friday, 10 a.m. European model. Still kind of hanging out over there, and that's gonna be yeah, that's gonna be pretty serious. But let me go ahead and this computer. See this gigantic, okay, this is waves right here, but see this gigantic system right here? We could really be in a lot of trouble with that particular one. And again, like I said, I do like the wind part because it does show a lot of the direction of it. And there's a hurricane coming, right. So this particular one, Friday at 10 a.m. right here, like I said, we're already at 90 some mile an hour winds. It's already going to be a category 1 right out of the gate. And there's Dorian right here. So, and there's a whole, look at all this wetness and this, the different directions of the wind and things. It's prime development. It is prime development for this particular one. So we have to definitely keep an eye on the apps and the weather. Can it still move direction till then? It could. It just depends on the jet streams and the upper pressures here up in the North Atlantic. Honestly, if they change in any kind of way, it could change the direction of the hurricane. This particular Dorian here, we're again Friday the 6th at 10 a.m. It could turn around like Hugo did in the 80s and come back. But these models are really pretty accurate. They really are pretty accurate. Like I said, I trust the European model more than anything because it's been historically accurate. So I'm going to say, you know, and again, I'm not a certified meteorologist by any stretch of the imagination, but I'm going to say there's a high probability that the Tampa Bay area will get struck by some kind of hurricane. It's affecting the Caribbean at the moment, like St. Thomas. Oh, you mean, are you talking about the new system that we're talking about right now? But right now, Dorian is over the Caribbean. Where is she at right now? This was as of 4 o'clock. We'll just give it a minute to adjust. All right, there's tomorrow at 8 o'clock in the morning. So it will have left Puerto Rico already. Here's St. Thomas right here. Let's see if there's anything new because it pretty much just kind of left there. This was yesterday. So they're not quite current. That's today, early in the morning, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3. So you can see it's starting to get like really wet and stuff there. Yeah. But it was kind of borderline tropical storm, borderline hurricane. So it's not until, what is this, tomorrow at 8 o'clock in the morning when it's out over the ocean. No, it has not. And Trump actually already sent money and funds and things like that to them. So hats off to him for that. I mean, he's definitely trying to stay ahead of of the disaster. And Puerto Rico has a lot of mountains and things like that. So, I mean, based on the direction that it could have gone or may have gone, it could have definitely weakened it. But unfortunately, it just kind of clipped Puerto Rico. So while it was over some mountains, it really didn't weaken. And Puerto Rico is not that big, as you can see. It's not that big, so it doesn't have enough time to really weaken. Now, if it's going this direction, okay, then it could weaken, but it's not. And all the models are very consistent with having it go this way. And if it starts going yeah, Maria and Irma. But it's starting to go up this way through the Caribbean, and there's just not enough. There's just not enough land to weaken it. So that's why I'm saying that we are probably going to get this storm, one way or the other. Now, what strength it is when it actually gets to where it's supposed to be, I have no idea, but we can definitely try to find out. All right, there's an approximate landfall. Let's wait for it to go here. Zoom in a little bit more. All right, now we're going to bring the surface up, maybe, to, we'll say, 2,000 feet. And this is Sunday at 11 a.m. 104 mile an hour, so it's at least a Category 2 at this point. 82, 101. Yeah, there's more than that because Category 3. Let's go up another 3. Okay. So now we're at 3,000 feet. See how the color changed, right? Now we're into Category 3 strength, 109, 110. See how it's changing like that all over just various places? I mean, hurricanes are amazing, amazing systems. They really are. They're scary as hell, but they're amazing. Well, this particular one, if this here, the center, is the eye, which it is, then, whoop, we went too far. Probably Stewart, Florida, or Fort Pierce. Yeah. I'll do as much recording as I can, and I've got my tablet that I'm going to charge up, and I'm going to put in the window frame out here on the porch and do like I did with Irma, and definitely try to record some of like the wind movement and stuff. Now, my footage of Irma was not that great, but I mean, you could definitely see, you know, the progression of the storm. But everyone talked Irma up like, oh, it's going to be bad, it's going to be bad, it's going to be bad. And it wasn't really that bad. And that's because, let me back this up. Wait on this thing to catch up. This is good enough. That's because Irma came in this way, hit Key West, and went up the center of the state. So Florida is very long, as you can see, it's very long. So it had a lot of, and the eye was pretty much over the center of the state. So it had a lot of land to weaken. But, and I'll give you a good example. When it hit Key West, it was Category 5. And it moved on up. People were saying, okay, is it going to go this way? Is it going to go out to the Gulf? We don't know, but it moved right up the center of the state. We actually had less damage here in Tampa Bay than Orlando did. And that's because all of the wind damage, or the wind strength, is on the 3 o'clock hour of the clock. You see this nice pink reddish yellow area versus here. So, I mean, yeah, and when it's going up the center of the state, there's Orlando, and here we are. So we didn't get a lot of it. You can also see at the 6 o'clock hour of the clock, there's a lot more. Right. So the 12 o'clock, the 3 o'clock, and the 6 o'clock are the worst parts of a hurricane. And when I say that, I mean I want you to picture like a clock, and notice where the wind direction is at that side of the clock. If we're looking at the 9 o'clock hour of the clock, it's not very much at all. I mean, it's at least 20 miles an hour less. So that's all I got for you right now, but that's kind of where I'm predicting. I'm going to go definitely with the European model because, like I said, they've historically been right. So, I mean, what are your thoughts? Is anybody ready? I mean, are we ready? I mean, I kind of am and I kind of ain't. I don't know. Being so late in the season and the sea temperatures being so cool, I really didn't think that we were going to have a whole lot of issues. But, you kind of, that's where you have to not assume anything. Because September and October, mostly September, are the busiest months for hurricane. So we'll have to see. You're not ready? Well, we'll have to get through it, won't we? I mean, that's just the way it is. I moved homes after Irma. Where I live now, the power is below, so I was told we won't lose power. With Irma, we lost it right away in my old place, but I still invested on a generator. That's smart. I think our power lines are under the ground too, because we lost power after the storm, which indicates to me that they shut down the grid to fix it. Because I think parts of our electric provider are still above ground, but a lot of them are below ground, and we didn't lose internet at all, not one bit, which kind of shocked me. But all the lines are underneath, But it was kind of fun and exciting, to experience a hurricane. I hadn't experienced one since Francis, and that really wasn't anything. It was a category 1, I think, when it hit Fort Lauderdale. But we're definitely going to see some of this, one way or the other. You have a pole in your backyard? Oh, shit. Well, you're on Duke Energy, right? And we're on With Lacucci. With Lacucci. What a name, huh? Duke screwed people, man. They really did. So let's go back here, and we'll play this one more time. I really think the European model is correct. Honestly, I got that gut feeling. It seems to make, well, they're not slow to cut you off if you don't pay them. It seems to make the most sense. I mean, you see there was like no weakening at all, really, on that storm. I mean, I just don't know what it's going to do, but I think the European model is correct, and it's going to make a U-turn, and you see, nice and high on the wind speed. What is this one? I don't know, but guys, be ready. That's all I can say. Be ready. We got hurricane shutters here, thank God, although they're frozen shut because they haven't been moved in forever. But I don't know. Right over Mexico Beach again, right? Okay, let's see. Where's Eddie? Let's say hi to Eddie. Here he is. Come here. Come on, tired puppy. Come on, tired puppy. Where did he go? Come on. Come on, up here. Come on, up here. Come on. Come on. Come on. Eddie. Eddie, up. 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 Go boy. There he is. There's my buddy. There's my buddy. There he is. Say hi to the camera right there, buddy. Right there. There he is. Oh, wow. Yeah. You ready for a hurricane, buddy? You ready? Huh? You ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? What do you want? What do you want? You want to come up? You want to come up? Come up. There she is. There's the other one. She never gets on camera. You know she doesn't. Them repaired. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Reba never gets on camera. She's hilarious. Let's get over here. There we go. My hair is a mess. I haven't done shit with it, and I don't care. So yeah, this OBS thing, it worked out pretty good. I kind of like it. I got the whole radar image there, and the picture and everything, you know. So yeah. So any last questions before we go ahead? Eddie will have, yeah, he will. I got to work on that channel too. Yep. I have Eddie and Reba. I've got this one. I got Uberman Tampa. They do have their own channel. They sure do. And I've got the American Truth. I had to put 2 phone numbers, if you will, on my old number, and then I had to put 2 on this new one. So that's how you do that. But you get these ideas sometimes about developing something, and then, you know, life takes over, and, you know, that's it. I haven't put anything up there since probably Christmas, but anyway, guys, that's all I got for you now. I'm gonna keep watching and continue to update you, obviously. With Irma, a lot of people were getting their information from me because I was full of internet, and I had the tablet facing the backyard, so people could see the progression of the storm, and I'm happy to do that as long as I can, you know, maintain signal. Again, I really want to watch that system developing on the 6th of September, or the 5th roughly, because I mean, I think that one could be a major, damn soda, I think that one could be a major problem. I really do. So anyway, that's all I got for now. I'm gonna go ahead and sign off. I appreciate everybody coming in here and watching. Kind of glad to do live again. Once I'm released from YouTube jail, obviously I'll do more lives on Uberman Tampa with Amazon Flex. But until then, hey, if you got any questions, just go ahead and put them in the comments. I'll see what I can do, okay? All right, guys, thanks for watching. Ciao, 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 ciao.